addressing the branches of a disease, like branches of the disease as branches of a tree, like you cut a tree branch because it is deviated the correct direction. You are not really doing any good to the root of the disease. You are just halting it, the opposite. Or maybe there was a huge controversy between what I was seeing in medical school and how it was practiced with what I had built in my mind as a physician. Actually, I landed in one of my greatest homeopathic teachers' clinic in India, and it totally changed my life, because it was the day that I decided that I want to pursue my career as a homeopathic physician. I mean, the information really downloaded in my being in that moment. That I say that's the reason that you are here in China now. Okay, so thank you so much for having me, actually. So my name is Aditya Kasariyans, and I am now 38 years young, but I am ethnically Armenian, Iranian, and currently I am living and practicing in my homeland, Iran. By profession, I'm a medical doctor and a homeopathic physician. And since 2017, I've been engaged in studying, practicing, treating, and recently teaching the art and science of Zhineng Qigong. What inspired me to become a Zhineng Qigong practitioner, maybe, it actually came to me. It was not a conscious choice that it happened. Because I always knew that I wanted to become a physician. There was no question. I mean, there was not a second thought or second choice for me. I knew that I was going to become a physician. But the way that I viewed practicing medicine was totally different from what I encountered in medical school. Despite I was a very, very good student, but I had this question that why people are treated in this way, emotionally, as a person, as a patient, and also medically. And how we can enhance that, and why it is actually exactly the opposite. Or maybe there was a huge controversy between what I was seeing in medical school and how it was practiced with what I had built in my mind as a physician.
Yes.
So at a very crucial time in my life, I encountered, actually I landed in one of my greatest homeopathic teachers' clinic in India. And it totally changed my life, because it was the day that I decided that I want to pursue my career as a homeopathic physician. And after my graduation from medical school, I continued to get the necessary certificates for practicing homeopathy. And since 2010, I have been practicing homeopathy alongside medicine. But it was interesting, because what homeopathy gave me was this basic foundation understanding about the root of our disease, which comes from a disharmony in our vital force.
Yes.
And it is our aim through medicine, through whatever holistic medicine, is to correct that disharmony. And by just addressing the branches of a disease, like branches of the disease as branches of a tree, like you cut a tree branch because it is deviated the correct direction. You are not really doing any good to the root of the disease. You are just halting it for some time, and then if the vital force, if the chi is actually strong enough, it will throw out more symptoms to show you that I am still in my disharmony state, so you have to do something for me.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the greatest blessings that I received, because upon that, the rest of my life started to be built. It was interesting, because in 2017, my mom had this very exciting project, which at that time I did it with total dismay. That she said, "We are going to China because I want to see a Chinese medical practitioner." And I said, "How come?" Because it is a little bit tough when you are a homeopath, you're a physician, and your mom says that you are going to see a Chinese medicine doctor.
Yeah.
And I had to accompany her. And I think that I really didn't want to do that. We had loads of issues going on in our lives with our relatives being sick. I think a life anything that could throw to someone's life, it really did. And I was wondering that what's actually happening in my life. My life had turned to become fragmented pieces that I was hardly trying to hold those pieces with little bit of myself left actually at that moment of time. So it was interesting because it was June 2017 that we went to China, and two months prior to that, I was searching for a good Chinese medicine practitioner. And after 2 months of real search, I found someone through a friend, an English-knowing Chinese medicine doctor in one of the Beijing's hospital, and he was a very good professor, as I had heard. So we went to him, and on the second day, he said that I don't think that I can do something efficient for you actually, for my mom. And my mom was like, "What? We are not going to stay here. Find someone else." And I was thinking that how you expect me to find someone else, because I spent 2 months from my home to search through an unfiltered Google, an unfiltered email box to find someone. From within Beijing, everything is filtered. How I have to find someone, and everything is Chinese. And then I remember I sat in my hotel room and I was searching, and suddenly I found this lady. I think she was Canadian or American, in one of the clinics in Beijing, and so we went there because she was English speaking, so we didn't have that problem. And then on the second day, also third day, she also said that I'm not sure I'm able to do something. She said that we are going to have a class on Saturday. Do you want to join? And I said, okay, because we are free, so what to do? And then on Saturday, we went to this class, and I remember everybody was Chinese. It was except me and my mom and this lady doctor. And then as we were sitting on the table, on the ground, I was thinking to myself that how I could waste my time and come to this trip, with this load of work that I have in my home, and with the patients that I have. And I actually, it was a disrespect I did to homeopathy and came to Chinese medicine. What did I do? And then it was interesting because there was this guy in our class who was also English speaking. I came to know that he's a teacher who is teaching in Beijing. I think he was teaching physiology something in one of the schools. And he was speaking to this lady doctor. And I clearly remember she said to him that this class is about the same thing that Greg Braden had researched in that medicine-less hospital in Beijing. And I think my ears, it was open from my inside of my brain. I thought that, what? And the teacher came. I think he taught the 8 brocades. At that time, I didn't know anything about Qigong. So later, I came to know that what piece of practice he taught. But even now, I remember my eyes well up, because the information really downloaded in my being in that moment. That I said, that's the reason that you are here in China now. And it is interesting because every day I was finding new emails from some teachers. Right now I don't remember, but I remember I emailed about 20 people. And it was interesting. The only person who responded was Master Liu. In 3-4 hours, I sent the email. I received the email back, and also in 1 or 2 days, I get in touch. I could talk to Greta on Skype. It was like it's so quickly everything happened with the correct people, actually.
Yes.
And Master Liu emailed that in 2 or 3 months, we have this Cyprus group and you can join. And it happened. I never took a time to contemplate. When the things fall into place, everything as if you are just falling into a flow, that the flow takes you now.
Yes.
And after 10 years of search and asking and conflicts and sufferings, I mean, I was landed in a flow of a river that really took me where I am now, and hopefully it is taking me where I will be someday. I mean, I don't know where, but probably, most probably a very good place.